Welcome back, my friends, to the Danny Buckler YouTube channel. I am the aforementioned Danny Buckler. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit like. Don't wait for the content. And hit the bell, because the bell's the key to let you know when there's a new video out. This particular video is going to be all about psychedelics, because everyone else is talking about it. Why shouldn't I? Oh, I'll jump on a bandwagon. But I have some experience in this area. And I'm going to compare two different experiences on this particular video. Two very different experiences, but both ritualized. This is why they were both ceremonies, if you like. One involving cacao, the shaman's horlicks, and the other involving 5-MEO DMT, the shaman's rocket fuel. Let's have a look at both of them right now. So cacao first. What is cacao? It's basically chocolate, but very, very pure, unrefined chocolate. It's very, very high cocoa content. None of the sugar, none of the crap, none of the joy. There's no caramel in it. Do you know what I mean? It's just literally this kind of lumps of raw chocolate, and then you melt it into like a drink, and then you drink it. Very legal. I mean, it's you can get it on Amazon. Get it from Holland and Barrett, mate. Fill your boots. And the effect is very mild. I'd taken cacao socially. I didn't swallow. No, I've drunk cacao with a mate, around a campfire. Very lovely. You drink it. It's a very tasty hot chocolate. You put a bit of maple syrup in it so you can get rid of that bitterness. It's quite bitter. But you drink it and you get a very light body buzz is what happens. It makes you warm and lovely, and it opens your heart up a little bit. It's a lovely drink to have of an evening. Socially, but it's a thing. Julian Vane explained this to me. My friend Julian Vane, the expert of all experts when it comes to these matters, that when you ritualise something, you do increase its power. And I mean anything. You can ritualise regular tea. There's a massive difference between drinking a mug of tea and then doing a Japanese Zen tea ceremony, Every picture needs an appropriate frame, and ritualising things gives them a frame. And so I did a cacao ritual, very, very different. A cacao ceremony, actually, it's called. So this was very recently up in Yorkshire on a retreat. If you want the full story, check out the last episode of Borderline, my podcast. But I'll give you the basic rundown. My friend Sam ran this particular experience. We're in this retreat centre. First of all, we go into the room. We have to leave the room while she prepares and cleans it. This is part of the ritual. No idea how she did this, but that's what she did. I imagine there was a bit of smudging going on, stuff like that, from the smell when I went in. And then we all entered the ritual space one at a time. As we went in the door, we too were smudged. Our auras were cleansed. Again, Sam is the shaman in this context, so she gave it all with the burning sage. And in we went. We sat in a circle where I reckon I knew there were about 15 people in the circle, and I'd met about 5 of them previously. So there were people there that I knew, people there that I didn't. This is all context. We're sitting around what is a kind of she's made like an altar. Again, I'm not familiar with the mechanics of this particular ritual, so there were various crystals, flowers, things of this nature, statues of various deities in the centre of this circle. We're sat on cushions. She's got this big pot of the bubbling hot chocolate, She dishes it out. We all get a mug. She explains to us cacao is a plant medicine. A term that grates slightly on me. I don't know why. Not because she said. Anyone that says it, for some plant medicine just sounds so pretentious to me. This is personal stuff. No, you're not doing it wrong if you're calling it that. I'd call it that because I can't find a better phrase. But for some reason, plant medicine is Quint's fingernails on the blackboard in Jaws. I don't know why. But it just is. Too much info. Anyway. But she explains that cacao is a plant medicine. And then it does have this mark. She explains what the effects are, a very mild warmth. But she's setting it up. She's setting the scene. Set and setting. Always set and setting. Leary's maxim. The set and the setting. The setting, where are you when you have these experiences? What's surrounding you? That sets the tone for what's going to happen. And the set of your mind going in. So she's established the setting with this beautiful ritual space. She's now, setting our minds to go in the right direction. And ritualising the action is doing that. It's getting our thoughts flowing that way. She's talking about heart opening your heart, an awful lot of these terms. The heart chakra gets mentioned a lot. We drink this hot chocolate, which is tasty, very delicious, you know. I'd drink it anyway if I was having it of an evening. So we drunk it, we're sitting there. And the effect was strange because I've already, obviously... Oh, by the way, if you want your housemates to start a racket in the kitchen, start making a video. It's the perfect way. It's like magic. Just invokes them. So the effect begins. This very light buzz, lively warmth up round the face. I felt it, and it was. So the cacao I've drunk is no stronger than the cacao I've drunk socially, but because of the context and the setting, I'm feeling it more because I'm tuning into it. The nervous system has been tuned by the ritualization of it. So I'm feeling it more. I'm noticing it more. Up warm around the face, around the back of the eyes, and a lovely warm glow in the heart. There's no trip. There's no visuals. There's no visions. None of that. It's all body sense. So the effect is very much like CBD oil. You know, it's kind of very relaxing, very centering, very calming, and it created a sense of safety because as we were all sitting there, and it was just very nice, and because other people are vibing off it, and you're in a circle, and everyone's having their individual thing happen, but it was just a nice sense of communal. The idea of doing it in a group like this was very lovely. And then we shared. Sam guided us through this, but we went round the circle. We shared what opens our heart. Again, ritualizing it. Again, getting the mind and the emotions all moving in a particular direction. So it was kind of like, we could have done this without the cacao, is how it felt. We could have literally sat in the circle and shared what opened our heart. But this lovely warm glow from this cacao was giving us a push, a gentle nudge in the right direction, you know. It was like a nice wave to ride. But very, very gentle. We all shared what opened our hearts. And then we had a bit of energy in us then after we'd shared. And some people released. Some people cried a little bit. Stuff was let go of. New good was welcomed in. And that was the cacao ceremony. And then we had a little bit of a dance. Danced around the room a little bit to kind of get the vibes going. That was very lovely. And then on with our day. But like straight out the door, you could just carry on with your day. There was no hangover. There was no I didn't feel like I'd taken a substance. I felt like I'd had a lovely experience, but it was very, very gentle, very warm, very loving. Would love to, and again, very, very legal. I mean, you can buy this stuff on Amazon. It's out there. You know, it's hot chocolate is all it is. It's just really strong hot chocolate. But by ritualizing it, very powerful effect. The other medicine that I'm going to talk about is it was toad venom, again, taken in a ritualized context. And toad venom, which straight away sounds terrifying, is exactly what it says on the tin. It's toad venom. It comes from Mexico. They get these toads. They sort of squirt them over the windshield of a car. Then oh, it's very profound, this spiritual process. They squirt the venom over the windshield of a car, the sun dries it, then they scrape off the dried stuff, and there's a powder that you smoke. And it contains 5-MEO DMT, dimethyltryptamine. Now, this was done in a legal context, in a legal place where it was legal. Full disclaimer. No laws were broken here. And again, in a ritualized religious context, the frame was everything. The set and the setting was everything. This wasn't just, round a mate's house. This was beautiful. We went to a ritualized space. And there was only 5 or 6 of us involved in this circle, of whom I knew 2 on this particular occasion. Went to this ritualized space. Again, very beautifully laid out. Set and setting is all. We've got lovely banners on the walls. Again, we're in a circle. Again, the shaman leading the trip has arranged an altar in the centre of the room. But this altar, very, very different. It had just different representations of the 4 elements in it. And some milk, some honey, stuff of this nature, just laid out very nicely. And this is different. You smoke this stuff from what is essentially a glass pipe. It's heated, and then you suck in this smoke. And it's a harsh smoke. It really is. But, it's that or don't do it. So we're in this room. And he went around the circle. Now, I went last on this one, and this was different. With the cacao, we all did it simultaneously, and we all sort of went together and had this very, very mild buzz. This stuff is a rocket to the moon, right? This is not a casual undertaking. We have got an expert guiding us through it, a genuine expert. And this pipe goes round, and he's seeing everybody off. He's administering it. You know, he's guiding the... And I go last. But because this stuff, everyone, you go. You don't get much say in it. You get about 30 seconds, then you go. So I'm seeing everyone taking off as it comes around the circle. It's a bit like the heads exploding at the end of the Kingsman. He comes to me. He proffers the pipe. You know, the ritual is done. Again, it's all very ritualised, this. We have a lovely drum going, I believe, at some point. He administers the dose. I take in my first inhale. Get as much of it as I can in before I start coughing. Breathe it out, and I am feeling nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everyone else seems to sort of straight away. And I'm like, nothing's happening. So he mimes to me, take some more medicine. So I take some more medicine. Get it down me. Breathe it out. Still not feeling a mild body buzz a bit. And I've come a long way, and I've really wanted this experience. I really want it badly. I've read about it. I've studied it. I've listened to every word Joe Rogan has said about it. Last go, I'm still feeling nothing. I look at him. I went to say, I don't. And as I went like that, back I took reverse tracking shot from Jaws. I just shot backwards down what felt like a tunnel. The last thing I see before I close my eyes is him going back gone. Now, this particular DMT, there's the type that Joe Rogan talks about where you speak to aliens and you see all this incredible psychedelia. This one, I've been informed, is a more inward experience. There's less of the visual, more of something else is going to happen. I'm not sure what I'm going to get. Here's what happened. Nothing. But nothing in the most profound sense of the word nothing. I felt my legs disappearing. I don't mean going numb. I mean disappearing, dissolving. I could feel the atoms tingling as the legs vanished. Up into the chest. Disappearing. The arms the same. Feeling them vanish. Up into the chest, the face. Everything's disappearing. And then, I'm gone. I cease to exist. There's no body. All there is thought in nothing. Weird, whoa, what's going on? Like thoughts floating in nothing. I don't know where I am. Am I breathing? Because I can't feel if I'm breathing. Because when you're here, you've got if you close your eyes, you've got reference points. You know where your lungs are in relation to your head, and you can feel where everything is, even with your eyes closed. There was no reference points. There was nothing in any infinity, in every direction. No reference points. No up nor down. No left nor right. No forward and back. Nothing. Just nothing. Profound nothing, with thoughts just happening in it. Scary thoughts. And then the thoughts start disappearing. I could feel them breaking down at the end. If you can imagine that's a thought, who am I, what's going on? The thought was shrinking. Even that was dissolving away. And it's very hard to describe nothing. And the last thought I had was, this is what happens when you die. Nothing. And I could have been in there for 3 minutes or 300 years because it was timeless. There was no time because time requires reference points. Anything that happens has a beginning in time and an ending in time. Me picking up this cup and having a sip, a beginning in time and ending in time. Reference points. But now there's no reference points. There's no time. There's nothing. Nothing, but also something. Because something was aware of the nothing, is the only way I can describe it. Something was aware of the nothing. Basic awareness. Your own basic awareness. You can tap that now with no drug. You can tap that now. Your simple awareness of where you are right now in time and space. Your awareness right now of your thoughts. that which is aware of the body, of thought, of emotion, that is never born, never dies, never went anywhere. That never went anywhere. This all happened in that. Because that is permanent. You see, so I sat in the nothing, and then a thought come back. Ooh, that was my first thought. Ooh, I'm coming back into the room, slowly, slowly, slowly. Reality started to regenerate itself. I was thoughts, and I said, I can feel breathing. I'm still alive. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. The story is coming back. The mental narration is coming back. I'm coming back. I feel my feet. I feel my hands. I'm coming back. And then I was aware of the guide had me by the hands. And he was sort of guiding me back into my body. And I opened my eyes. And we were all sort of humming to kind of turn everything back on again. Amazing. And I came back. And it felt like I had hit Control Alt Delete on reality. Nothing was the same. Everything was the same, but nothing was. It was all clean and new. It was here. It was happening in the moment. I have experienced that after a long session of Zazen and some other things, but that was the quickest. Boom. And we've been gone maybe 5 minutes. Whew. Then we all we were in the circle once again, ritualised. We all joined hands. We said thank you. And then we all went outside and just looked at the moon for hours, just lying on the grass. No trip happening. That's the weird thing. It was like, you know, from 0 to 1 billion, then back to normal. There was no sense that a trip had, you know what I mean? It was like, did that just happen? Like, what? It definitely felt like I'd been through a portal and had a quick look around at the other side, you know what I mean? All right, and then come back. But yeah, no hangover, none of it. Just straight fine. And an hour later, back to normal life. But something changed there, you know, something stayed. That's the nice thing. Same as with the cacao. Something stayed from that heart opening. I'm feeling it now a week later. There's a warmth, there's a flow. There is always something that stays from a ritual of that nature. So that's 2 medicines, cacao and 5 MEO DMT. One you can get on Amazon. The other, you most certainly cannot. You probably have to go to Peru or somewhere or do an ayahuasca retreat. That's the way it's done, you know. Or you know, yeah. That's the only way you can get hold of that I'm aware of. Not advocating any drug use. No medical advice here whatsoever. You know, this is don't ever take your medical advice from a schizo comedian. But there we are, 2 very different rituals. Which was the more powerful of the 2? I'm not going to lie, the toad venom was. Because that, I can only describe it as it eradicated my fear of death. Not my fear of dying, not my fear of getting ill, not my fear of pain, not my fear of suffering, but my fear of actual death. I've not been afraid of death ever since. I mean, no rush to go, but that little fear of, what happens? I've not had that since. Very powerful, very healing. And then the cacao was more admitting to myself how I felt about certain things. And acknowledging that love, the love space. So which one's better, you know? Mate, depends what you're looking for, doesn't it? I don't think you can compare them. I don't think you can compare them. That's the you know. They're not comparable. They're 2 completely different things. Both powerful in their own way. But the best way to experience them is in some kind of ritualized context with a very experienced guide and with safety. Yeah, set and setting. Always comes back to set and setting. That's a quick video, a quick discussion, 2 stories. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you on the next one. If you did enjoy that video, there's more coming. Subscribe to the channel and also give the podcast a go. You'll find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get podcasts, and there's a video version on this channel. Go and have a look about, have a butcher's. I'm Danny Buckler. See you on the next one.